Today we've initially invited 5 schools here. We want to hear the views of young people about issues to do with food.
Just to get a sense, first of, could you put your hands up, those of you that do go out for lunch on a regular basis, just to give me an idea. We plotted on a map all the food outlets, which are the red triangles, and what we found was that there was quite a difference between one school to another in terms of numbers. And what we also found was that lots of the outlets put on special lunchtime deals.
It's fast food, it's things like chips and cheese, chips and gravy, chips and doner kebab.
Some people's every single day it'll be chips and curry sauce.
Fish and chips, pizza, sometimes they buy like whole pizzas and they eat it themselves.
This size of a drink, and I think it was something like 34 grams of sugar.
Me, I'm the Lord Provost. Okay, so I'm the Lord Provost. I've been asked to go to the United Nations in New York and tell them what the main challenges are facing Glasgow's food environment. But before I go, I need my committee members to brief me on each of these issues.
What we had at the event today was a playing of the Understanding Glasgow Game. It allows people to work with 12 dimensions of life in the city in a way that allows them to get into the flow of role play.
The Understanding Glasgow website is a way of thinking about Glasgow. It's organised into 12 domains and these represent aspects of life that we think are important. We also want it to be used in these kind of events to seed discussions about how Glasgow could be different.
Ours is poverty, and if you're poor then you might not get the same food and ingredients that you need.
They're asked to identify the key trend. Secondly, what might a shock to that trend bring? And thirdly, what's the key concern?
The trend is that poverty is going up as Glasgow still remains the most deprived. It's things like poverty and the mindset of people that changes your view and how you think about how food should be in schools.
60% of the population is overweight or obese.
We've been getting ideas out of our heads that we need to learn about and tell each other what we think about the foods.
So at the end of 45 minutes or so, you end up with 36 pieces of information about 12 really important issues.
Okay, so 4 things. I'll bring round sheets of paper with these questions on.
So what we then do is we then group sets of issues. And you say, okay, so what does Glasgow look like if all of the concerns in these 3 areas occur simultaneously? And then we share that information around everybody. So you get 4 or half a dozen report backs. And then the final part which we did today was to construct a wisdom circle. Now you know all of the things that you've heard about. What wise action would you now recommend that we take in order to generate a better food environment in Glasgow?
If they have cheaper ingredients but really high quality, then it will be better for people that are not as wealthy.
I think we should be eating less processed food. They could make the food look nicer, taste nicer.
Maybe try and have more homegrown stuff. Just make the school dinners tastier and a better variety.
It's very much about allowing pupils to have a voice in the future of school meal provisions and food provision around schools.
It was helpful to the children to understand that, where they're living in Glasgow, poverty, deprivation can affect their health directly.
I think I've taken away from today that I need to think more about what choices people make and try to influence them to take more healthier decisions.
But also I think there has to be discussions with these local shops. If they're going to win the battle at this stage, then they need to actually change their habits of just selling fast, greasy, high-fat foods.
It's orange. It's carrot. Carrots, carrot, red. I think it's grated carrots. Carrots.